Santa Claus is coming to town. Let's see what we got coming up here. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, not good morning. Good afternoon. Happy Monday to you. We got the holiday traditions here playing. What do we got next? A little Merry Christmas, baby. Of course, you don't want to sit here and listen to me talk about Christmas songs. You can get in your car and listen to your own. We're going to talk about the secret to a great relationship with yourself. The secret to a great relationship with yourself. Now, I am so excited for two reasons. That I got so much feedback from people. Thank you. If you're one of those to post your comments about what it takes for a great relationship. And I was in lines with you for a moment. I was thinking to myself, like, what does it take for a great relationship? I know what, for me, what it takes for a great relationship, but I'm just curious. Out of curiosity, I wanted to ask, and a lot of things came up when it comes to a great relationship. And you're in the same lines with what I thought as with other people. And that's words like honesty and what makes up a great relationship. Honesty and communication and trust and commitment and someone who's loving and respectful and fun, and somebody you can have a friendship with, right? Somebody that's loyal, flexible, has flexibility that you could admire. That's like a great sign of a great relationship. Forgiveness, right? And one of my personal favorites, God-centered. To me, that's been the single most important part of really any relationships that I come into, not just relationship with my spouse. That is enormous. That's been a game changer, is having a God-centered relationship with my spouse, but just in regular relationships with people, having a God-centered, that to me is a high priority. May not be yours, and that's okay. But I want to talk right now about the secret to a great relationship with yourself. Isn't it the same thing? Think about that for a moment, because when I asked the question, I was thinking the same thing, like that if you commented 100, 200 posts, whatever, comments in there, what is the secret, or what do you believe is the secret to a great relationship, right? What's the secret? And lots of the same comments, lots of the same things. Somebody that's honest and forgiving and could be your best friend. That's really important to me as well. And we're talking about that. But how about between you and you? How about the relationship between you and yourself? Because when you look at this list that I wrote down, I was thinking to myself, when I looked at this list, it helps to be honest with yourself, doesn't it? When you're in your relationship with yourself, which you are in, that's the longest relationship of your life, right? The one you have with yourself. And maybe except from your relationship with God, which is eternal. But outside of that, your relationship with yourself is the longest relationship you'll ever have. So it would be really helpful to be honest with yourself, right? To communicate with yourself, to love yourself. That's not a, what's the word for it? Not a narcissistic kind of way. I'm just to actually have love for yourself, to be committed to yourself, right? To have that commitment to yourself, to respect yourself, right? To have fun, to enjoy life, to have fun. You don't necessarily to have other people around to have fun. I have fun. I'm going to go work out by myself and I'm going to have fun. Okay, we have some old songs coming up here. Let's turn that down for a moment. To be flexible, and I'm not necessarily speaking about physical flexibility. Oh, that's helpful in a relationship with yourself. Just being flexible, right? Being forgiving and flexible and being loyal to yourself. That's something that could be really underestimated, I think. Really the secret. Admiration, admiring yourself. If you're a hard worker, it's okay to admire yourself for the job you're doing. I believe I'm a very good coach. Like, I have the admiration for me for what I do for people, and not in a narcissistic way, just that I work hard at it. It's my livelihood. It's how I help pay the bills and put a roof over our head. It's something that I say that comes with the relationship that I have with myself. There's a bit of confidence that's there as well, right? Having that kind of confidence. You want to have that kind of confidence in other people. I have great confidence in my relationship with my wife and with my close friends, right? And my business coaches and my fitness coach, like people that are mentors, people that I trust. There's a confidence that's there. And truly, like, the secret to a great relationship with yourself is all of those things. So my question is to you is, do you have that good relationship? Do you have the secret to that great relationship with yourself? You see, I deal with people in their relationship with food and their relationship with fitness and even spiritual relationships. And we have conversations and I help give them guidance. And it's really hard to know that there's a lot of people that really have, not that they don't know the secret, but they don't have a really good relationship with themselves. And then that might be a hard pill to swallow. You may even have great relationships with other people, and maybe the only relationship right now that's really, really struggling is the one that you have with yourself. Maybe you don't feel good enough. You don't feel pretty enough. You don't feel strong enough. You don't feel confident enough. Maybe you don't feel like you have it all together. And here's the good news, which goes back to my number one secret. The number one secret, I believe, is truly the number one thing for a solid relationship. And that is, now again, that's just me. This may not be you, but for me, I truly believe that it's having it God-centered. And what's really great is that's also helping my relationship with myself. And it could be with you. It could be the one thing that's separating you from having a great relationship with yourself, is knowing that it's okay not to have all of the answers, to not have everything put together. I sure the heck do not have it all put together. I don't have, I have a lot I'm working on. I have a number of coaches in my life for good reason. And here's the one thing that I want you to know, because I'm a coach who people invest in. People invest in my services as a coach to help put them on the path so that they can maybe have that better relationship with themselves through food, through exercise, like through feeling better about themselves, having that kind of self-confidence that's not there in so many people. And I would say is one of the things that's amazing as a coach who is coached by other people is the investment. I can't even tell you, and I'm gonna save that for another story. I just made, the last 2 years, I've made probably two of the biggest investments, financially investments in myself through other coaches, through a coach, really one, well, it's through him and his team. But I'll tell you, I made really the last 2 years, two of the biggest investments. And I just made another investment for 2 more years, which is amazing. And why did I do that? Why am I continuing to invest in myself? Why? Because it's helped me with all those things. I can tell you, as far as that relationship, the secret, like I asked the other day about investing. How do you invest? Like, what's the single biggest investment you made in 2020? And people had great investments, real estate and stocks and Bitcoins, whatever, all these different things. And I invested in this and I invested in that. And I invested in, maybe fixing up my house, and invested in relationships, which is great. Invested in my family. That's great too. And I would say there was a handful of people that said I invested in myself. And here's the thing that's awesome. I think one of the best investments you can make is one in yourself. And here's why, because all the other things are important, right? Your business is important. Maybe your finance is important. But when you invest in yourself, think of the return on the investment when you invest in yourself for a number of different reasons. We don't need to get into them. But think of when you invest in yourself, you can possibly be more honest with yourself. You can have better communication with yourself. You can trust yourself more. You can love yourself more. You can have a better friendship. Be your own friend. To have loyalty, understand, to grow into that loyalty you have with yourself. To forgive yourself better. All those types of things. When you invest in positive things for yourself and your health and your life, the return is amazing. And I can say, for one who is a byproduct of coaching, the return on my investment in coaching has been just astronomical. I have a business coach, financially speaking, where I know a lot of people, it's been a hard year for them. I'll tell you, it's been a hard year. It could have been a really hard year for me if I didn't invest in myself. It really could have been a hard year. I could have been really, really stuck. I could have been struggling. I could have been in a bad spot. But instead, I chose to go all in, invest in myself. And guess what? I've had the best year ever as far as in my business. It's been amazing. And again, this is not to knock it. I know there's a lot of people, but the hard thing is to get stuck in that state of fear. And when you start getting in that state of fear, you start to get into that downward spiral where you don't You don't feel you can be honest with yourself. You don't want to communicate. You don't want to maybe even trust yourself. Maybe you're failing because you're afraid to commit. Like, that's another thing. Like, those are some hard things. And guess what? When those things start to spiral down, then it's easy to not love yourself. It's easy to not feel good enough, not feel worthy enough. And that's a really tough place to be in. And maybe you're in that place right now. And I can say is, look, the good news is you're up, you're awake, you're alive, you're breathing, right? You have a breath in your lungs, you have a heartbeat. God gave you another day. Your life may not be centered around God right now, but I can say is if God gave you another day, today could be the day that you actually start fresh. It could be the day that you actually make that commitment to yourself. Today could be the day, not in the new year, not when you think things are going to get ready, not when you believe you're going to have, all the ducks lined up. The reality is that time doesn't come. And guess what? Time is running out. We're all getting older. Time is getting shorter and shorter in our window of opportunity. And the end of the year is here. You still have an opportunity. In fact, you maybe missed out on an amazing opportunity with my Black Friday sale, but good news is I'm still coaching. Good news is I still have an amazing deal before the end of the year, before we go into 2021, because I know for the right person, my program is going to be one of the best investments that they make in themselves so that they can make everything else in their lives that much better. Truly, the secret to a great relationship with yourself is all of those things that I just talked about, all of them, every single one of those. Like, that's the secret, is to keep improving, keep progressing. Know that, hey, yes, you may have made mistakes. Yes, you've maybe failed on that diet before. Yes, you maybe even made some bad investments, but guess what? You're still here. You're still around. The reality is you might not be able to get what's in the past back, right? And you may not want it. 2020, you may not want to actually have it back. I'm with you there, but tell you what, you can move forward. You can start to look at the future. You can look at what tomorrow's going to bring. You can look at how you can invest in yourself and in your future and in the relationships you have with yourself, with other people, with coaches who can get you to where you want to go. Does that not sound exciting? And I believe in you. I believe in you. I know you have what it takes, even if you don't think you have what it takes. And I would say is, why I do is because I didn't at one point in my life thought I had what it takes. I didn't think that I was good enough for a lot of different things. At one point when I didn't have my life centered around my faith and trust in God to know that he's going to provide for me with whatever I need, not necessarily what I want, because there's a lot of things I want that I don't have, but he's going to give me exactly what I need. And you know what that took is me investing in him. And he's like my number one coach. My faith and trust in God is my number one coach. So let me leave you with this. As you go into this December, maybe things were all over the place, just complete like train wreck. Maybe your life, you want to look back and keep looking back in the last year and you let yourself go and you had put on the COVID-19. You didn't do my 21-day challenge and that could have been the thing. You didn't eat healthy and now you're overweight. You didn't exercise and now you feel sluggish. The muffin top is back. The pants don't fit. Maybe you even lost your job. Maybe you even lost a relationship. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Maybe there's a lot of garbage right now. A lot of stuff going on. And I know it's probably hard. But the good news is you can control some things. Maybe not all the things, but you can control how you respond. Now, you can react to what's going on in the election and react to what's people wearing masks or not wearing masks. And I even get caught up in it myself, as getting worked up about it. But you know what happens when I do that? I lose focus. And part of the best investments I made in coaching was to ensure that I stayed focused. My coaches helped me stay focused. A good coach, a good mentor will come alongside your journey with you and help you maintain focus. And that is such a great investment. You know what happens? It helps to ensure your relationships improve. The one you have with yourself, the one you may have with your spouse or with a partner, a business partner, or maybe a family member. Those all can improve. And it helps to kind of put some blinders on to all the fear and all the news and all the garbage and all the junk that's trying to fill your space. Because guess what? We only have so much capacity to take in stuff. After a while, that capacity gets filled, and guess what? There's no other way to you can't make those investments in yourself because you're so caught up in all the other things, all the garbage, all the junk in your mind. Mindset is really, really important. And I'll tell you, one of the ways you can move forward in the assurance that you can improve and progress and make your life better is to focus on the things that you know you can control, right? And relationships are one of them. And one of the things you may need to do is to invest in yourself. And maybe a coach, a mentor, maybe a business mentor, maybe a fitness mentor. And if you have that, I'm going to challenge you in 2020, the end of 2020, last month of the year, right? Where our focus is on what? The holidays, and I got to buy all the presents, and what am I going to do for vacation, and the kids are coming home from school, and blah, 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 right? And I got to take care of this. Let me just wait and get through the holiday season, and then I'll start to take care of my health again, and I'll start to get on the right path. And you and I both know that ain't going to happen. It isn't. If it is, it would have already happened, and you wouldn't be saying that to yourself again. And that sound like that broken record that you played in 2019, and that same record you played again in 2018 and in 2017 and in 2012 and in 2010. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, when I was saying I was going to get on a healthier track, I was 40 and now I'm 50. And guess what? It's freaking harder now. Life is different. My body is changing. My aches and pains are different. There's not now 20 pounds of extra fat on my body. There's 50 pounds of extra fat. And guess what? It ain't going to get any easier if you keep doing the same and you keep playing the same record over and over and over again. Aren't you exhausted of it? It's time to start changing your relationship with yourself, with others. It's time to start improving. I know you have it in you. You have to start knowing that you have it in you too. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Listen. Why am I doing this? Why do I come on here and do this live? Why do I just keep yapping and yapping and yapping? Because I am absolutely passionate about helping people improve. I've made it part of my life's work. Is it everything? Does it define me? Nope. There's only one person who can define me. And you know where he is? He's up there. He's up there. God is the only one that can define me. But what he's telling me is, Mark, he's like, you have skills to help people improve. You have 25 years of experience that you've been helping people lose weight, get on a healthier path, and truly become their best, to not leave anything on the table, to optimize their health, their lives, their relationships. And that's what I'm going to go 6 feet under before. That's going to be my last time that I do that. And I'm going to tell you this. You have what it takes. What are you waiting for? Seriously, what are you waiting for? The relationship with yourself is there. You can improve it. You can make a difference in this world. How are you going to be good to anybody in your family? How are you going to leave a legacy? You can leave money to your family. Trust me, I've seen it. I've seen multi-millionaires leave all the wealth to their family. And guess what? Their families are a complete disaster. You know why? Because they didn't invest in their relationships with each other. They didn't invest in the relationships with themselves, their relationships with food, their relationships with their body, their relationships with their faith. Have you had enough? I hope so. I have. I need to go run in and get a workout. I'm going to invest right now in myself, in my relationship with my body right now, because I value it. And I know you should too, even if you don't maybe feel that your body is worth investing in. It is, truly it is. And I'll tell you what, if you want to know what that looks like with me, send me a message. All you got to do is message me right now. 2021, right? 2020, you may have already wasted it. Might be already gone. Maybe it sucked for you, but you know what? 2021. All you do, message me 2021. We'll get on a call. We'll see if we're a good fit. And guess what? We will crush 2021 together. How about that?